Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Jurassic World Carnotaurus Dinosaur Chase set. This is set number 76941. It has 240 pieces, and this set was bought for $40. I believe this is from 2021, so a couple years old. It is retired technically. I think it retailed for $50 back then, but I'm not positive. It could have been $40 back then. The reason I say that this cost $40, this was purchased as a gift for me, and so I didn't personally pay, out of my money like I typically do, but this was a gift for my birthday, and I'm excited to take a look at it. This is a dinosaur that, while dinosaurs, these big molded ones, do hold some value, this one's not exclusive to this set, and so it's somewhat easier to get. There's no differences in mold or printing or anything like that, so it probably doesn't hold as much value as some of the other bigger dinosaurs, but it's a dinosaur that I do not have, and so I am interested in that. Little small vehicle build up here, small vehicle build here, and yeah, the piece count doesn't seem to make sense, but if the dinosaur alone is worth whatever it might be worth, $10, $15, I don't really know where this one ends up at, but I'll take a look into it. I don't know if that is a considerable amount of the value. The box is relatively big considering only 240 pieces, and I'm grateful to receive this as a gift, and I'm excited to take a look at it. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it while I build. I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Jurassic World Carnotaurus Dinosaur Chase set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like my videos, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. If you want to support the channel, you can give money to the channel here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. There's a Patreon in the video description. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description. That stuff all helps a lot. We put together Owen Grady minifigure and then the Carnotaurus dinosaur there, and then the first bag of pieces is this relatively simple kind of helicopter here. It comes together pretty quick, not a ton of pieces there. There's not a ton of pieces in this set. Then we can start working on this truck. It's sort of a pickup style truck, or kind of a flatbed-ish truck. It does have 6 wheels, and for the most part this is all very, very straightforward. A lot of just studs on top, just very basic building. There's not a ton of details in this. There's not a ton of special features. A little bit of studs on the side stuff for bracket uses, kind of on the front grill area there. It is a pretty roomy vehicle, so you can fit all figures in there, which is pretty nice. There's only 3 stickers in this set, not a big deal, and this is kind of finishing up. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Jurassic World Carnotaurus Dinosaur Chase set. This is interesting. I did not know this was from Camp Cretaceous. I believe that was one of the animated series. I think there's also another one that's like Jurassic World Chaos Theory. I think there was a couple sets for that. Like I said, this is from a couple years ago. I don't know where Camp Cretaceous is available, but I think that is where this is from. And also, I think I talked about how this dinosaur was maybe not exclusive to this set, and I'm thinking now it is. I'm not 100% because Bricklink says that it is exclusive, but I guess there's a different one that is in a different set, and I'll kind of talk about the apparent differences there, and then about the value of that when we get into it. But this is really interesting, like small set, all things considered, but a good amount of stuff here, and so we will get into it. And the first thing we will look at is the minifigures, because you do get some. You get 3 minifigures in this set. First one we will look at, I think this is the only one that I'm really familiar with because I think this is the Chris Pratt character. And this is Owen Grady here. So hair and face, not too different from maybe like Star-Lord or something like that. A little bit of stubble there, but this is, I think, supposed to be representing that character from the live action movies. They have kind of a vest with a lot of different pockets on there, different zippers, good detail. Kind of have like a button shirt, or I don't know if it's like a Henley or something, where it's just got a couple buttons at the top that they have undone up there. Little folds in the shirt, nice detail. Arm color matches nicely. We do have printing on the midsection for the belt, as well as printing on the legs, just a little bit, kind of around here. It's a little bit difficult to see, but you can kind of see some of that there. Back of the torso is just kind of the back of the vest, very, very basic. We have one expression here like this, another expression where they're looking much more concerned or stern, kind of frowning a little bit, furrowed brow a little bit. And is that printed or is that a crack? I think that is printed. But we do have alternate faces there. There aren't a ton of like accessories in this set, but there is something that I can talk about. But either way, Owen Grady, I think they've come in many other sets. I don't know if it's always, looking like this necessarily, but it is good to get this figure here. And if I were to look, this maybe appeared in many sets from this era, so pretty standard Owen Grady figure there. The next one we will look at is, I believe, Kenji, and I think this is one of the characters that's maybe from Camp Cretaceous. I'm not positive here, but they are a pretty good minifigure, so you have a nice kind of like spiky hair there. We have a face here that's a little more surprised. You get a little bit of the open mouth, raised eyebrows there. Torso is pretty good. You get some little folds, little details there. Some extra kind of details up around the shoulder area. No printing on the midsection. And then the legs are not dual molded or anything, but they do have printing on them to kind of get this separation. It almost looks like there's like a little thicker line of like black ink kind of right under the curve of the minifigure legs, but then there's that printing tan there to kind of give the impression of, I would say, like shorts, as well as then maybe skin tone and then boots or something. But it's not dual molded, triple molded, anything like that. No printing on the arms. Back of the torso is very basic. I mean, overall, this is an extremely basic character. We do get an alternate face, so besides being surprised, we also get, one where they're looking, they have kind of a raised eyebrow and a sort of a sly smile there and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. This is only in this set, I believe, or at least this version of Kenji is only in this set. So that is fine, but not especially detailed character. It's just a okay minifigure, okay inclusion. And then the last one we have here is Sammy, which I believe is another Camp Cretaceous character. Now, there may be other versions of this character, but this one's pretty good. They do have kind of what's like a stun baton, a taser thing for rogue dinosaurs or something like that. So that's just a couple pieces, really simple build. Looking at this character, basic hairpiece, looks good, different skin tone, which is nice. They do have alternate faces again, looking kind of surprised or scared versus looking kind of content and happy. They have a kind of a white tank top looking thing for the torso. You get the little impression of hips there. It's kind of got like a Hawaiian shirt pattern, so like different flowers and leaves and stuff. And then we have the skin tone around the top. This is printed on a white minifigure torso, so you do see some of that white where they don't get all the way to the edges, which is, that's okay, but Printing for the torso is pretty good. I like that torso. Nothing on the arms, bare arms, just matching skin tone. Nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs. And then the back of the torso is very much the same, kind of the pattern there, although it is not identical, and so there are some differences in where the things are placed on here, which is nice. Overall, 3 minifigures in this set. They're not particularly interesting. I mean, 2 of them do have leg printing, but you know, the best one out of the bunch here is Owen Grady, and that's a super common one. The ones that are exclusive here, I don't know if are exclusive for any real great reason, except for like maybe these outfits or whatever. I don't think they're particularly valuable, these characters, Kenji and Sammy, but they might be really important for people who are familiar with the show, and so that is all good there. You know, a fine assortment of figures here for a set of this size, so that's good. And then besides the minifigures, the big thing that's in this set is the dinosaur figure. So this is the Carnotaurus. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but I've said it a few different ways. But this is the Carnotaurus, and this is one of the bigger Lego molded dinosaurs. It's a couple different pieces here. They did come in a bag that had like the pieces somewhat separate. So the tail is kind of one piece here. Does have a joint. This can rotate, clicks like that. The end of it is kind of that flexible rubber here. All this is dual molded, or like pre-formed and pre-put together. The kind of whole body of this is its own thing. The legs are separate, so we can pop those out. Those two operate with kind of those click joints. Same for the front and the back. The arms are separate up front, little tiny arms. The head is a separate piece, and we can get that back in there, turn that left and right, go up and down with it a bit, and the jaw is a separate piece here. And this is pretty good. So there is a different Carnotaurus. This one is the one that has kind of stripe pattern. The other one kind of has spots going throughout it as far as its kind of coloration there. And then this one has the scar on the head, so this kind of printing up here. Overall, I think this is pretty good. It's kind of a bigger size one, similar to maybe a T-Rex or a Indominus Rex or other kind of Jurassic World type stuff. It's on the bigger side of dinosaurs, which feels about right. Let me actually grab one to compare this to it. Okay, so comparing the Carnotaurus to some other ones, here's a Velociraptor. I have a Triceratops here. I have the really tall one. I can't remember what it's called right now. And then the probably most appropriate comparison is the T-Rex. And I think there are, in some ways, that this is like a similar mold. I wonder if this body piece underneath, let me get the rest of these out of here. This isn't a Stegosaurus or I don't know what that one is, the tall one, long neck one. But if we're looking at this, you know, the arms are different pieces. The tails are different pieces. I think the end of it's probably the same, but this one has these spikes or the ridges along the back. So that's a little bit different, but like the piece kind of underneath there that they pre-formed together is probably the same. This one does have printing on it a little bit. This piece and this piece for the lower part of the torso I think is the same. Overall, I think these legs are the same mold. And then the front arms are different. The upper part of the torso is different, again, because of the ridges. They both do have the 8 studs on the back. And then the head pieces are different, and that's for the lower jaw and the upper kind of head there. So this one has a couple pieces like up here, and then a lot of printing detail there, and big jaw kind of click open and close. And these the joints in here don't make nearly as much noise, or it's just a way higher pitch noise on this older one than this newer one here. But there are a lot of similarities. The jaw on the Carnotaurus one is a little interesting. It doesn't have a like definite like clip open and close. It doesn't also like close all the way. This one gets pretty close, where the lower jaw does kind of fit underneath the upper teeth there in the upper jaw. This one kind of has a more protruding lower jaw, kind of an kind of an underbite there, but the head is overall smaller. So I think this is actually pretty nice. It's nice to get another dinosaur. I would always welcome like Lego to make more dinosaur molds like this and just represent more dinosaurs there. It's always exciting when there's a new one that people want to get. And because this is one that I thought wasn't exclusive, then it turns out it kind of is. There is another Carnotaurus, but with different coloring, different printing, and doesn't have the scar there. That one's, I think, also only in one set, but that does make these a little more valuable. As far as I can tell, just the dinosaur alone probably goes for $15 to $20 plus, somewhere in that range, maybe around 18. And I think that, is important when evaluating the value of this and kind of taking this in totality with the figures, with the dinosaur, and with whatever else is in the set, because this is such a significant portion of the plastic that's in the set, but also like what people might be buying this for. And so a 240 piece set or whatever for $40 or $50, depending on what the retail was, might seem really outrageous. But because this holds value, it's a big piece, it's expensive, it's multiple big pieces, specialized pieces that only might be in one set, that is pretty important. Overall, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the clicking for the legs here. I prefer the more recent Tyrannosaurus Rex, where it was slightly lower pitched, and I think it felt a little like smoother. This, I just don't like the sound of that. The one back here, not too bad. That's kind of to be expected. Up here is pretty good. Don't mind those. We don't have that here because they just attach with Technic. I kind of like the jaw that it doesn't have a specific open and close click, so you can kind of position this anywhere in between. Like any of these dinosaurs, this does have some limitations, so we do have a pretty severe gap up here, and if we tilt this back, we have a pretty severe gap here. That's just because if we want the ability to kind of turn this and angle this and have some articulation of the head, which I think is important, we do have to make some like concessions for that, and so I'm okay with that. Overall, you can pose this in different ways. I'm not sure if I can get it in a really great running stance, just because it's not super balanced on its two legs here, but yeah, so maybe a little bit playing around with it. You can kind of have the legs offset a little bit and balance it. You can really lean this down. You can lean this up and have it in, a good amount of positions there. So that's about as good as any other kind of big Rex dinosaur type, a bigger dinosaur there. So I think that's pretty good. Now that I know that it is exclusive, it definitely has more value in and of itself, so I'm pretty happy about that. That's value in the market as well as just value for me personally. And then the rest of the set we can look at here. You get a couple of vehicles. This is the Carnotaurus Chase, Dinosaur Chase. The first vehicle you get here is this one. This is the first thing you build besides like putting together the dino and some of the figures there. We have this small helicopter. Now there are stickers in this set. There's only 3. I can't find my sticker sheet, which would be empty, but I don't know where I put that. Usually I save those at least for the videos, but I'll be able to point them out. Sticker here, kind of the Jurassic Park logo, Jurassic World logo right there, and then another one on the other side, and then there's one other sticker on this set on the truck. So this is a pretty small helicopter. It does use kind of the skids or the feet, the kind of base for helicopters that we use. It uses a 4x6 there. We kind of build that out. I actually liked how the color blocking and the piece usages was done for kind of these curves in here. We build up some stuff inside, a little bit of structure. We're kind of at 6 wide for a lot of this, and then get down to 2. The kind of tail of the helicopter, where they have like the tail wing here and the tail propeller or whatever, is just Technic, so super simple, not many pieces. I mean, this is the axle, this fin piece, and then 3 other pieces, the propeller piece, the pin, and then this kind of axle receiving, pin receiving piece there. So not too many pieces there, not a ton going on. You can pop that in and out. So that's a little maybe underdeveloped here. The rotary kind of blades here, it's kind of 2 blades, not like 4 necessarily. You kind of have these things coming off here because they do use the piece that is kind of a 4 bladed helicopter kind of design. Put that on a vertical kind of Technic pin there, but we just build out 2 of them, and again, super simple, pretty rudimentary, pretty pedestrian here. Studs exposed, it's not tiled out. This is just, you know, 1 by plates, long 1 by, I don't know, 10 plates or something like that. So pretty basic. We do have the windscreen here that can open up if you have to kind of reposition the blades to get it open up as much as it can. This is, I think, the older kind of dark gray. Mine does have a pretty aggressive scratch on there that is, I would say, pretty noticeable, but on camera maybe it's a little bit hard to pick out. Kind of just depends on how the light's gonna catch that. I would say that, oh yeah, there you can really see it. I would say that's pretty noticeable, so that's a bummer. Color-wise, it's okay. And then we do have a spot for a minifigure to sit in here. We have a little bit of a lever joystick type thing. This helicopter is not totally enclosed, so this is very, very open here. I think there's some imagination going a long way for that. That doesn't super bother me. I'm not sure if it's my favorite use, like, of this canopy piece, or I'm not sure if there's not a better piece that I would like more here. There's certainly other building that they could have done to kind of round this off a little bit, but working only in the kind of some narrow margins of a couple plates width in there might be a little bit difficult. And I don't know what this looked like in the show, but it could be that this is accurately representing the vehicle in the show, in that it did have kind of this gap throughout there. There is a stud shooter on the side, the kind of older style in white, and it has this little color stud in there. There's not one on the other side, so it is got some asymmetry just in there. This is super swooshable, can kind of get this off you know, easily while holding it, at least in my hands. We can sit a minifigure in there pretty easily. We'll put Owen in there and close this up so we can see what it looks like with a minifigure in there. Again, they're pretty exposed to the elements here, which I don't think a pilot of a helicopter would necessarily want, but helicopters, you know, there's all different kinds, and sometimes the cargo doors are open or not or whatever. This is like a very small one, and I think they look fine in there. I'm not too mad about it. Don't mind these stickers. It'd be great if they were prints. I would think they would, or they probably do make prints of like the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park logo on various pieces that are different colors than this, but in this case they they did the stickers. So that's kind of the helicopter there. Overall, fine, not quite like a 4 plus, but it has some elements that do remind me of like City or something like that, because it is sort of basic in that way. And then the other thing we get here is this truck, this 6-wheeler kind of pickup truck. And this is okay too. Not a ton of pieces used in here. I mean, it might be about 120 pieces per vehicle or something, or actually a little bit less when considering the characters, the minifigures, and the dinosaur there. But we do have 6 tires on here, so those are all rubber tires. They're pretty dense. They don't have like air in them. The other sticker in this set right here, we have kind of some scratch marks for some claws, Jurassic Park logo. And this is a perfectly serviceable truck. It is like 8 wide plus a little bit, so it is bigger than like City stuff. The wheels do stick out a little bit. We don't use like a chassis or anything like that, but we just start with kind of these axle plates that have been used in Speed Champions and other stuff, some long bricks in there. Then we just put some plates on there. So this is a 6x8. We have another 6x8 here, but turned the other way. And then some stuff up front. Not too much going on in between there or kind of beneath there. The front grille looks all right. We got some lights up here. Nice changes in angles. And then the grille, overall the colors look about right. It's pretty muted, but that feels appropriate for this. I don't remember if there's actually anything under here that's worthwhile. I don't think so. No, there's not. I don't know why I thought that, but anyway, that's the other sticker there. Again, that would have been great to get a print, but that's okay. We do have kind of the impression of like a step or something right outside of here. We do have doors that can open and close. We have the steering on the left side there, and technically this does have space for all 3 figures. So you can see we have the kind of jumpers in there, so we can sit this character kind of off to the side. Let me get their hands out of the way of anything else. Get this character over on this side. Can kind of close up the door. I kind of over closed it there a little bit. Let's see here. And close that up. And I believe we can get Owen in there as well. Now, I'm not sure if they're supposed to go back here. They can. That's seating all 3 characters in there at once. You can kind of see them through the windscreen there. So because the ones in the rear is kind of in the center between the 2, and these are kind of offset a little bit because of the jumpers in there, you can kind of get them, which is a nice look. The one in the back is not studded down or anything, but they do kind of slot into where that's tiled. You could also have characters in the back of the truck bed. The roof assembly just studs down on the front. Super easy to get that off. No internal stickers, no dash or anything like that. You get the impression of some mirrors there. Very basic window frame pieces without the panes in them. A couple clear pieces back here. And then we build the truck bed. You know, it uses the same kind of generic sort of fender piece all the way through. We build this out a little bit. It extends out the back a little bit. At the back we do have some lights. The kind of gate can, or the tailgate or whatever, can open and close. And we have kind of not a super accessible, not a very big truck bed for this. It is maybe very supportive because it does have these 4 wheels kind of centered at the back. I don't know what they're supposed to be carrying. There's not really any sort of interaction between these vehicles that this would be on there or be carried on there, I don't think. And so I think, characters could be standing back here, and that could be something. It feels pretty safe there. It's pretty nice and closed up, and you can stud them down. A lot of exposed studs in there. There's not like other cargo or other things that might need to be put in here, but you could potentially store kind of the taser or the stun baton type thing there like that. Obviously there's no way that the Carnotaurus can sit back there, so that's okay for that. On the box art, it does have Sammy kind of like standing off on the edge of this with the baton, and so that's good. But all three characters can fit inside like the actual cabin, the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and the back seat, which is nice and not always the case. And then, you know, you can also split it up, so one's in the helicopter and two are in here, one's driving and one's in the back, and that all lends itself to play. And that's kind of everything that's in this set. You know, it's only 240 pieces. You do get two vehicles. They are pretty small. You get the six-wheeler thing, you get the helicopter. They're both very, very rudimentary, I would say. They're not especially detailed. They're not super feature packed or rich in kind of building techniques or anything. They're very straightforward, but I think, you know, recognizable, identifiable, and maybe even passable Lego models. I would say they're a little bit on the simple side for me, and lacking some detail, which I do miss here. I don't know how these break down. There is somebody on Bricklink selling just the six-wheeler for $9, and that same person has just the helicopter listed for $4.50. If that's the case, we're looking at, yeah, maybe let's round up and just say roughly $15 between these two vehicles. You have the minifigures here, and then you have the dinosaur. And this set, I believe, retailed for $50, but it could have been $40, and I don't remember what it was. I know that the person that bought this for me bought it for $40. I do have the extra pieces here, the trigger mechanism for the stud shooter. Forgot to mention, you do get an extra of this color stud. So there's one loaded up in here right now. You get one extra, and then of course you do get another extra in the extra pieces. Hilt piece here, and your bar elements, your studs, your tiles, your Technic pins, your little plates, little slopes, all of that good stuff, about what you would expect. And yeah, 240 pieces, 3 figures, a big dinosaur for $40. That is taking into account that this is retired, and it was sealed. Again, I did not pay for this, but it was bought for me. It looks like on Bricklink, the market price is about $40, $39.95, $39.99, $40, and then some that are, you know, $41 or $40 plus. And in that range, I don't know what the upper limit is, because that's not especially useful to me. On other websites like auction websites, major online retailer auction sites for aftermarket stuff, I don't know what this sells for. I'm imagining pretty similar to this. And so I feel like, you know, I paid the appropriate market price. I maybe paid the retail price a couple years after it came out, a couple years after it retired potentially. You know, this is a 2021 set. Probably retired in 2022 or 2023. I got this at the end of 2024, so it hasn't been out of production for super long. I was happy to see it on a shelf at a store. It's not one that I've seen on many shelves for quite some time, and I immediately was drawn to the dinosaur that I did not recognize immediately, and I knew that I did not have. For whatever reason, I thought I looked it up and found that it wasn't exclusive, and then when I'm looking it up today, as of recording this, it appears that it is exclusive. So that's a little bit unique. Like I said, this might be $20 here. If this is $5 to $10, this is $5 to $10. And then the 3 figures, yeah, I think we pretty much get to that price point that this was purchased for. If the retail price was $50, I think that's a little bit steep for this. I don't know if this was subject to price increases at a certain point, but it does seem a little bit high for me. Again, I don't know if at various points this was worth more, $30 or something like that. It appears it's about 20 or less than 20 in today. So, I think there is value here. Certainly play value, not a ton, because we're lacking some features, some details. You just have the stud shooters. You have a couple vehicles that can interact with each other. You have the characters to do some storytelling and stuff like that. But it doesn't have, Lego string elements in there, or I don't know. There's a lot of other ways that could have upped sort of the detail of this or increased kind of the playability. If this set, if we did more with the vehicles, made them a bit better, in my opinion, which is just more like well-rounded, more built out, more detailed, having some additional kind of features and functions in there. I don't know how much that adds to the set. Maybe they add another 200 pieces and these are bigger, or maybe we get like a little side build, or I don't really know what else. It would probably cost, another $20 more. So this is like kind of in that mid-range, $40 to $50. I could see people feeling like they didn't get their money's worth here, because you can get $40 to $50 sets that have like a lot more building in them. But it's important to remember that a lot of it is in the dinosaur here. The dinosaur is a huge reason I wanted this set, and so it's kind of why I picked it out. Like I said, it was a gift for my birthday, which I am very grateful for, very happy with, and my birthday was quite like a month ago at this point. So I've been waiting to review this for a little while, but very grateful for the person that purchased this for me. And I would have bought it for myself with $40 as well. So I feel pretty good about this. I definitely wanted this, and I think it's a well done dinosaur. I do like the striping. There is some areas where the printing goes on to like other parts there. The patterning is all pretty good. The things that are dual molded or not are pretty good. The scar looks nice, and kind of the extra shaping on the head here, as well as the horns, the spikes, the ridges, that all really works for me. So this is a win on the dinosaur side. Vehicles, not my favorite, but passable, and I think the value here is okay. So that's really, really good. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Jurassic World, Jurassic Park stuff, more dinosaurs, tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. If you want to support this channel by giving money to the channel, for example, you could do that here on YouTube with membership supers and thanks. You could give money to the Patreon. There's a link in the description. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. All that stuff helps support the channel, helps me purchase sets. In this case, this was a gift to me, but there have been some very kind viewers who have sent me stuff in the past. This was from somebody very close to me that knew I liked Legos as a loved one, and so that's a little bit different. But otherwise, I do purchase everything myself, and so if you want to kind of like help with that, it's always appreciated. It's not needed, it's not necessary. It is super helpful, so maybe consider checking those things out. And I think that's it. So with all that said, until next time, thanks, bye.